Hey guys, so today is time for my Q2 low buy update. So I'm going to be sharing with you all of the makeup that I purchased in Q2, so April through June. And I'm actually really proud of myself. I have not bought very much in the last quarter. I've only bought a total of 6 items, but 2 of those 6 were just replacements. Like I was completely out of that category and needed to buy a replacement. So really only 3 new purchases that were not replacements. So really excited about that. So for this year's low buy, I decided to place a purchase cap for each category of makeup, except for 2 that I decided to just have be replacement only. Those 2 are eye primer and mascara. Everything else, I set a number limit for the number of things I would allow myself to purchase in that category. All of those added up to 60. So alternatively, I said that, I would like to purchase no more than 60 makeup items for the year as a whole. So in Q1, I purchased 7 items. Q2, I purchased 5. All right, hi. So I realized I didn't explain this very well. I know I said at the beginning that I bought 6 items in Q2, but just now I said 5. Both are true. So one of the 6 purchases in Q2 was just a makeup sponge, which I'll show in just a second in the video, but I don't count sponges or tools towards my empties or purchase caps or any of that. I don't have a category for that, because I pretty much just treat that as a replacement only category anyway. So I did count the sponge purchase towards the amount of money spent, and I showed it in this video, but it's not an item that I'm counting towards my purchase totals. I hope that makes sense. So that means so far this year, I've only bought 12 out of 60 items. So it's looking like, at least if I continue at this rate, I more than likely will not even be anywhere near that 60 product limit. So I'm really happy about that. So let me go ahead and share with you the products that I bought and how much I spent in Q2. Actually, let me share how much I spent first. So for the entire Q2, I spent a total of $88 on makeup, and that's compared to $125 in Q1. So I did spend less than I did in Q1, and I think a big part of that is because we are preparing to move. So over the last 3 months, I've been trying not to buy too much new stuff, just in general, even just household stuff, anything, clothing. I've been trying to really not purchase a whole lot because, I don't want to have to move a lot of stuff. So I think that is a big reason why my spending was so minimal in Q2, but let me go ahead and share all of the things that I bought. So one thing I bought was just a sponge replacement. I bought the e.l.f. blending sponge because my other sponge was just ready to be tossed. This I spent $8 on, which is actually higher than the usual retail price. I think this normally retails for $6, but I bought it in a Seattle grocery store, so naturally the price was higher. That was one purchase though. That was one of the replacement purchases. I did place a small order during the Sephora spring sale, and I did get 20% off of my order. So the 2 makeup products I bought were the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder, and would you believe, just today I hit pan on this. This and that e.l.f. sponge were the 2 replacement purchases that I bought because I was about to be completely out of setting powder. So this is actually the only powder that I currently own. I've been using it every day, and I now have pan. Powder actually was not one of the replacement only categories for the year. I did have a purchase limit of 3 powders for 2023, so this is the first powder I've bought this year. So if I do decide I want to buy some more powders this year, I have 2 more that I'm allowing myself to buy. I do think I will be repurchasing the e.l.f. loose powder at some point soon because I just ran out the Halo Glow setting powder, and I really miss having that. I like having a loose powder and a pressed powder, so I think I will be purchasing that one soon, but for now, this is my only powder, and I am really enjoying it. The other makeup item I bought in the Sephora sale was the Fenty Sunstalker Bronzer in the shade In the Sun, and I am so happy with this purchase. I'm so glad I bought this because this is now one of my favorite bronzers. The shade is just the perfect tone. It's a little bit deeper than my other favorite, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in Fair. That one is like a really light bronzer. This one is just a little bit deeper, so it's great, especially for the summertime. I've been using this a ton. I am actually wearing it today, layered over my LYS cream bronzer stick, but this was a great choice. I also just think this is such an easy bronzer to work with. It just blends in so easily. It's almost like a cream bronzer, but it is a powder. Like the way that it blends out, it almost melts into your skin like a cream product would. It's so good. So those are my 2 Sephora purchases. I love that they're both geometric shapes. It's kind of fun. I also bought a lash serum during the Sephora sale from The Ordinary, but I'm not counting that towards my makeup purchases. So the Sephora makeup purchases added up to around $45 if we factor in sales tax. So that was my first makeup purchase of quarter two. And then I only had one other order that I placed in quarter two, and that was on ColourPop's website because I saw that they had restocked their Winnie the Pooh collection, and so I snagged the Sweet as Can Be palette from that collection. It's so cute. The main reason I got it is because I wanted to have a palette named after our cat Bee, so that's what this palette makes me think of. And actually it's funny, a lot of these colors are colors that Bee has. Like, her eyes are green, or like a green gold color, so that's like these three shades up here. And then, you know, she's a calico, so she has black, orange, and white fur. I guess there's not a black or a white in here, but there is like some orange and brown colors to match her fur, and then some pink shades to match her little pink toe beans. So I actually think this palette is so perfect, and it reminds me of Bee every time I use it. So I don't think any of the shades in here were shades that I like really needed in my collection. Like, I think I probably, you know, had similar shades to these already, but I do like the color story. I like that it has a mix of rosy tones and greens, and then even some warm fall tones. So I think this is going to be a great palette for the summer, even going into the fall. So that palette was $18. I think I had to spend like $35 to get free shipping. Sometimes I will just pay for shipping, but I also had really been wanting to pick up a few ColourPop Super Shock shadows because I'm really into one and done shadows right now, and I've seen Lauren May Beauty talk about her Super Shock shadow collection, and when I saw her video on that, I added like a bunch of shades to my own wish list, and I ended up picking up two of the shades that I had seen her recommend. I got Ritz and A Little Quirky. I talked about both of these in my best one and done eyeshadows video, but I am loving both of these. I actually think these are somewhat similar, so I don't know if it's necessary to have both of these, but I am really enjoying both. Ritz is just a little bit more sheer and a little bit more neutral. The base is more of just like a neutral light brown. And A Little Quirky has more of a bronze base. So you can see the top one there is Ritz, and then the bottom one is A Little Quirky. They both work great as a one and done shadow. I also think of the two, Ritz makes a great topper because it is a little bit more sheer and sparkly, whereas A Little Quirky has a bit of a more pigmented base and more of like a metallic finish instead of just like a sparkly glittery finish. But I have been really happy with these so far, and for the summer I do wear a lot of one and done eyeshadows. I just like very easy, quick eyeshadow looks, especially cream eyeshadows, which these are more like cream to powder eyeshadows, but they're still in that sort of category. So I think I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of these in the summer, and I'm so far really happy to have bought both of those. So that ColourPop order came out to around $35, including tax, and that was my third and last purchase of the quarter. So that right there is all that I bought in quarter two, which I'm really happy about. I'm really enjoying all of these purchases, so that to me is a win. So as for my purchase limits for the year, I haven't yet met my limit for any category, so I still have room to purchase in any category that I want. So the LYS powder being my first powder of the year, I have now bought 1 out of 3 powders. Same with the Fenty bronzer. This is my first bronzer purchase of the year, and I also had a cap of 3, so I've bought 1 out of 3. Definitely still on track for both of those categories. For eyeshadow palettes, I set a limit of 5 for the whole year. So the ColourPop Sweet as Can Be palette is actually my third palette purchase of the year. I did buy 2 palettes in quarter one, so I'm a little over halfway to my palette limit. So that means I can buy 2 more palettes this year. So I could buy 1 more in quarter 3 and 1 more in quarter 4 if I do decide to even buy 2 more. I don't have any other palettes on my wish list really, but if something does strike my fancy, I do have a little bit more room in my palette budget for the year. And then the 2 ColourPop Super Shock shadows, those fit into my potted singles category. I have a category that lumps together both potted singles and eyeshadow sticks, just any kind of cream eyeshadows or potted single. My limit in this category this year is 3, and these were the first 2 that I've bought. So I'm now at 2 out of 3, so I could buy 1 more of these this year if I want to, or any type of shadow in this format. So that is where we are at. So far this year I have bought only 12 products, and This is really exciting. I have also been keeping track of the number of makeup products that I've finished this year, and I also have actually emptied 12 products, so I have broken even with my empties and purchases. My last low buy goal for the year was just a loose budget. I decided that I wanted to try to spend no more than $1,000 on makeup for the year. So far, between quarter one and quarter two, we are now halfway through the year, and I've only spent $213. So far, I feel like my low buy is going great this year. I'm definitely on track to not even come anywhere close to the limits that I had set for myself. We'll see how Q3 and Q4 go. I definitely think, you know, once this move is over with, I probably won't be quite as stingy with what I'm bringing in, but I do hope to keep my spending to a minimum still, because ideally I would like to keep the number of products that I purchase around the same as the number of products that I use up, and so far I have done exactly that without even really actively trying, so I think I'm doing great. I'm feeling really good. Thank you guys so much for following along this low buy. I do these updates quarterly, so I'll be back with another update at the end of quarter 3. We'll see how it goes, but let me know in the comments if you're doing any sort of low buy or no buy this year. How is it going for you? Have you been staying on track, or have you been struggling? Maybe we can all help to encourage one another in the comments, but thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I hope you had fun. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye!